Here's the story. I'm gonna read this to you. Just heads up, okay? He says, during the concert, I became extremely tired. I don't know if it was the alcohol, which number one, why is a grown-ass man giving a 14-year-old boy alcohol? Okay. I don't know if it was the alcohol. I don't know if something was put in the alcohol, but I remember dancing with Tim Waltz. We were slow dancing. I remember his hands being inside of my pants a little. He was telling me that it was natural. He was telling me that it was okay. Now, my first thought was, why is nobody in this concert noticing a grown man slow dancing with a young boy? But then you also have to think about it, that a lot of concerts, people are drunk. They are on some sort of drugs. If it's an outdoor venue and it's dark, nobody can see these things that are going on. So again, I believe the victim. He says, after the concert, Gwen was not to be found. Tim said he would take me home, but we would stop off and get something to eat. Being 14 years old, I thought this meant McDonald's. To be honest, I thought I was having a great time. I thought I was beginning to think that I was gay. When we stopped to get food, it was a tavern, and I didn't realize until I was older there was actually a gay bar. There were only a couple of women in the entire place, but they were really not women. So, butch lesbians is basically what that comes down to. He says, I don't remember how long we were there, and I don't remember the drive back home at all. This is where it gets, just FYI, for anybody who can't hear this kind of thing, this is where it gets a little graphic. The next thing I remembered, I was naked and I was in the home of Tim Waltz. He was giving me oral sex. I remember it only took seconds, maybe a minute for me to ejaculate. I thought this meant I was gay. I thought this meant I really was gay. I did not understand it was just a physical reaction. I remember being upset. I thought Gwen would walk in. He told me not to worry about it. He told me Gwen would not disturb us. He kept reassuring me that everything was okay, that this was normal, and that he was helping me see that I really was gay. The next morning, I woke up on their couch. Gwen was there. They made breakfast and they acted like nothing happened at all. Tim took me home, and I honestly thought I had feelings for him. I thought he was showing me life. I remember feeling so confused yet so free. I thought this was part of becoming a man. I remember a definitive bump-like scar on his chest. He told me all kinds of secrets. He told me he was almost deaf from his time in the military, and he told me he had served in the Persian Gulf War. When I finally got home, I did not tell my parents anything. But I thought I had feelings for Mr. Waltz. He told me many secrets about himself. At least I thought they were secrets. He told me that he was bisexual. He explained what that meant. I would continually see Mr. Waltz during 1995. I spent a lot of time with him whenever I could. I can't remember the exact date, but I moved to another country in the summer of 1995. My parents were becoming suspect. In summer of 1995, he came to see me. We were drinking. We had gone out that night. We got into an argument when I found out he planned on taking students to another Indigo Girls concert. On that night, he left very angry. That is the night that he got pulled over for drunk driving. Some way to sweep this under the rug, like nothing's going on, like it's not real, and their whole believe the victim is going to suddenly flip-flop and change 100%. And it's going to be, well, until you can prove it, we don't know if he's really a victim. That's what they're going to do if they do anything at all. So, but the problem here is, and I told you before, if it was just Tim Waltz resigning, that would make sense. Okay, then maybe nothing happened. Maybe it's just him resigning. A motion was made by Aldinger and seconded by Moore to accept the resignations of Tim Waltz, Gwen Waltz, and Byron Green. Why would all three resign at the exact same time? Unless, of course, all three got canned at the exact same time, because not only was Tim Waltz at an Indigo concert with a student, Gwen Waltz was at an Indigo concert with a student. The same thing. So you have two sick fucks that are married, that are teaching in the school, that are taking advantage of these children. And now you have Gwen Waltz out on the campaign trail reading books to kids at the library of two gay dads and their cat. You couldn't find like a book that didn't bring in sexuality whatsoever. But these kids need to know that it's not their fault. When these adults do things to them that trusted adults should never, ever do, it is not the fault of the victim. It is not the fault of the child. And this guy finally coming out and having this conversation and telling people about Tim Waltz and everything that happened, people are like, well, why did you wait? There are people out there, you will never know the things that they have gone through because of how it has affected them mentally. They've either stamped it down or they've held it in because telling people might make them look bad. It might hurt other people. So they keep it to themselves. And this guy for, however many years has kept this to himself. And now he's like, listen, This man could be the possible vice president of the United States. He has already gone through in his state of Minnesota and made it so there's tampons in boys' bathrooms. He's made it so that the word pedophile has been erased from any sort of sexual assault terminology. Pedophile is not the word that is used anymore. They've taken it away. They don't want it to be something. They don't want people labeled as pedophiles in Minnesota. Why would the governor of Minnesota take the word pedophile out of all context there, unless he himself does not want to be labeled as a pedophile? To take that word out is crazy to me. To put in this new MAPS, minor attracted person, whatever, is absolute bullshit. And call it what it is. If Tim Walz was touching a 14-year-old boy, not only is he gay, he's also a pedophile. He's a gay pedophile. They call him Touchdown Timmy. That's what they started calling Tim Walz while he was a football coach, was Touchdown Timmy, because of how inappropriately he was touching the kids. And they knew that he was sleeping with one of the kids. That's what they say. And so they named him Touchdown Timmy. I want to show you this. This is while he's in China with another teacher. That's Tim Walz holding the drink in his hand, and my brain going, I wonder what's in there. Is it soda or is there something else? And those are 3 underage boys with 3 adults. Just a very interesting picture in China when he was over there as a teacher. Not saying there's anything to it. Not a fan of his shirt. Up the yin yang, y'all. Probably not the correct phrase to wear while people think that you are trying to sexually molest young boys while you stand there next to a young boy. I sent myself these pictures. Let me pull up my email because I need you guys to see these as well. There's so much that it's hard to keep track of absolutely everything that is coming out right now, and trying to keep everything. Nope, wrong one. Hold on. I've got like 17 different email thingies. Where is it? Here we are, live stream. Okay. So this is Tim Walz. This is Tim Walz in China holding a big fan, right? But it says here, the past year that Tim Walz spent teaching school in China was a very rewarding one. I want you to hear what he says here. No matter how long I live, I'll never be treated that well again, said the 1989 Chadron State College graduate. They gave me more gifts than I could bring home. It was an excellent experience. He enjoyed teaching because it was an excellent experience, or because he got so many gifts, which says a lot to me as well.